German Chancellor Olaf Scholz has arrived in Washington for talks sure to be dominated by the tense security situation in Europe. Scholz's first meeting as Chancellor with U.S. President Joe Biden is being overshadowed by the threat of a new Russian invasion of Ukraine. Before leaving for the U.S., Scholz said he would discuss with Biden how to continue to make clear that military aggression against Ukraine would have a high cost for Russia. Berlin's NATO allies, including the U.S., are unhappy with Berlin's refusal to provide Ukraine with defensive weapons. But Scholz stressed that the decision is in line with a long-standing German policy on arms sales.
For years, the German government has followed a clear course of not delivering to crisis zones and not delivering lethal weaponry to Ukraine. That was my predecessor's policy. It was right then, and it remains right. By the way, and this is really important to me, the majority of Germans see it exactly as I do, as the government does, and as my predecessor did. But not everyone sees it that way, and their voices are very loud at the moment. But my duty is to do what's in the interests of the German people, and what in this case is also the view of the citizens of this country.
With Germany under pressure for not taking a harder stance toward Russia's military buildup along Ukraine's borders, Scholz's Washington trip could be tense. The German leader will be looking to show that he is committed to the Western alliance. DW's Oliver Salert reports.
A surprise winner of the German elections, and on the other side of the Atlantic, a surprised U.S. president.
I'll be darned. Yeah. Well, they're solid.
The solid Olaf Scholz is expected in Washington. His second trip since the election, but his first since being sworn in as Chancellor. He'll face a challenging geopolitical situation and some different opinions, too. A close partner and ally, but there are many topics Germany and the United States can't find common ground on. And with a looming war between Russia and Ukraine, the White House wants Germany to play a more active role in the crisis. And there are more contentious topics to be discussed. China and Russia are closing ranks. The U.S. wants Germany to take a tougher stance on both countries. The Russian gas pipeline Nord Stream 2 may be on hold, but it remains a thorny issue.
And our view continues to be that stopping the Nord Stream 2 pipeline is a credible peace we hold over Russia at this point in time.
And the U.S. would like Germany to take a more active role on Ukraine threatened by Russian troops.
Germany has never been an easy partner, and a Germany with a new government, and a government that is composed of a historically first ever three-way coalition. It's sometimes hard to explain to countries that have a presidential democracy like France or America that a German chancellor has less power.
Less power, but reliability from a solid German chancellor, and perhaps a tougher stance on Russia and China. The American wish list for Olaf Scholz is long.
For more on this, let's bring in Stefan Meister. He's a Russia and Eastern European expert at the German Council on Foreign Relations. Thanks for being with us. Stefan, the White House says Russia could attack Ukraine any day now. What's your threat assessment?
Yeah, I think it looks like that Russia is really preparing a war with Ukraine. And I think Putin is also driving himself into this war. I think he wanted something from the US and NATO, which he could not get. And if he does not want to lose face on one point, he needs to have a war. He needs to show victory. However, it looks like it can be a mixed hybrid war with a real war. It can be a small war. But I think it's getting every day more dangerous.
Germany has drawn a lot of criticism from its allies for not providing weapons to Ukraine. The U.S. has been much more hawkish, sending troops to NATO allies around Ukraine. Do you think the U.S. and German leaders can find common ground regarding the crisis at their meeting today in Washington?
I think they will show unity. I think it's important also towards Russia to show that they are on the same track. And I think Germany will support in the end economic sanctions, also sanctions on Nord Stream 2. And I think there they will have a common position. On weapons supply, they will not agree, definitely not. I think Scholz made it again clear that Germany will not send weapons. But I think on other issues like sanctions, they will show unity.
There's a lot of diplomacy going on right now. German Foreign Minister Annalena Baerbock is with her Czech, Slovak and Austrian counterparts in Kiev today for talks with Ukraine's government. What do you think will be on the table there?
I think it's the discussion about how to support Ukraine. It might be also about energy supply for an electricity supply for Ukraine. It's also about supporting with Ukraine with weapons. Maybe other countries are doing it, but not Germany. So I think Germany might not be against it if other countries are doing it. But I think it's also about showing that finally Germany and the European Union is more active on this conflict. So it's not only up to the US, but it's about European security and to show also unity with smaller countries, especially in Central Eastern Europe. I think it's very important for Germany and Europe.
May I ask you what a solution to the Ukraine conflict short of war might look like?
I think it's very difficult because there are different approaches. Yeah, from the Russian side, they want to have now these guarantees of their sphere of influence, no NATO enlargement, and they will not get it. From the European and Western side, also from the US side, I think we want to have a process with Russia on the European security order, on arms control, on confidence building measures, and I think this is the only solution to bring Russia into a negotiation process about the future of European security order and to show maybe Russia also respect in a way that the US is willing to talk, but to have this kind of high-level format where negotiations are going on, and Russia has in the end a process also in which it maybe gets something which gives also some kind of guarantees. But again, I think Putin has driven himself into a stalemate, and he might really need this war to be seen as a weak person.
Stefan, thank you very much for your assessment. That was Dr. Stefan Meister at the German Council on Foreign Relations.
Thank you.